is Michelle Hendry making this video from Nashville. I'm really excited and honored that Christina asked me to talk to you just a little bit for the month of October about maybe give you a tip, but first to tell you something about me. So I am currently the CEO of the Hendry household, which keeps me very busy. I have two kids, Haley, who is 16. Yes, I have a driver in the house, which is a little bit crazy. And Cole, who is 13. And my husband, Chris, and I have been married for almost 17 and a half years. So a little bit about me. I guess what I do outside of that is I'm PTO president at my daughter's high school and active in my church. Love being with my friends more than about anything in my spare time. So there's a little bit about me, but today I wanted to talk to you about the month of October, kind of focusing on your strengths. And about a year ago, I guess it was, I was told about a book, and let me reach it here. I'm a big believer in personal development. I think you should every day focus a little bit of your time, even if it's just a few minutes, on something to help you personally develop. But about a year ago, I was told about this book. Let me go in. Strength Finders 2.0. And I love this book. But something that really struck home to me when I read this last summer was talking about our strengths. We're all given different talents, focusing on those. And he tells gives a really good analogy that I like to share with you today to kind of make my point. Might date me a little bit, but we've all hopefully are familiar with the story, at least, of Rudy. And Rudy was a movie that was made, I don't even remember when, but it was about a football player for Notre Dame. And Rudy has a movie made, it's a true story, but has a movie made about him. And he tells a story in this book about him, and he talks about how if you looked at Rudy's natural ability to play football, I think he was like 5'6", maybe 160 pounds, not a very big guy, but had such a passion for 2 years. Well, first he was a groundskeeper, and then for 2 years he went every single day to practice with these kids, with the other football players. And every day he was so dedicated, he put so much time and effort, and not once in 2 years did he ever get out on the field. And then after 2 years, it was the final game of the season. Notre Dame was clearly going to win. They put Rudy in, and everyone begged to put Rudy in. They put Rudy in, and Rudy makes this amazing play. He scores a touchdown, I believe. And Tom Rath in this book, he talks about how we kind of have it wrong with that movie, in that Rudy did not have a natural ability. His strength was not playing football, and yet he put all his time and effort, I want to say wasted, but years and years and years of not getting anything done, and for one play at the end of the game, when he told a parallel story of Joe Montana, who you probably all have heard of. And if you look at Joe Montana, famous quarterback, and Joe Montana was blessed with a lot of natural ability and talent to play football, and had a very successful career of it. And the thing that kind of struck me back to this book was I'm a numbers girl, so this really made sense to me, but let me grab this. He gave a little formula, and he said that if you take, I'm going to go in here where you can hopefully see this. If you take your talent and you multiply it times your investment, you will get your potential. And what that means is that if you compare these two stories of Rudy and Joe Montana, if you take Rudy had a natural ability of, he put it on a scale of 1 to 5. He said 1 is not a lot of natural ability, and 5 is a ton of natural ability. And so he said he'd give Rudy like a 2. If you multiply that by his investment, Rudy was so invested. He put so much time and effort into being a football player. And on a scale of 1 to 5, you give that a 5. And so Rudy's potential came out to a 10. 2 times 5 is 10. Where if you look at Joe Montana, who had a natural ability of and talent and strength of a 5, you multiply that by the same effort, the same work was put in by 5, and you get a 25. So we talked about how if we put our time and our efforts in on our strengths and our talent, we're going to get so much more. I think it is we have to work. We have to invest. We have to put the time in it. But my tip for you this month is to focus on what you love, what you're passionate about. And this summer, I read another book called The Secret Successes of a $1 Million Party Girl. And she told basically a very similar thing here. Her team was really struggling, and she was holding team meetings, and everyone kind of seemed sort of overwhelmed. I'm going to hold that up. It's on my Kindle just so you guys can see it. Secret Success of a $1 Million Party Girl. Great book. But she told in here about, for her team, she kind of changed it, and she said, I want you just to focus on what you're passionate, what you feel good about. Yeah. Her theory is there that if we are focused, our energy and our time, because remember, we have to work. If anyone tells you you don't have to work to grow a business, they're crazy. Focus it on what you're passionate about, what you love to do. And she talks about in there, if you're doing that, you're automatically going to attract people to you. They're going to see, they're going to feel that passion from you. Where if you're doing something that, now that doesn't mean to say there's certain things in this business we just have to do. But if you are focusing on what you're good at, you're going to attract people to you. I think a lot of times we often compare ourselves to other people, and that's comparing talents that you may or may not have. We all have different ones, but we all have them, and I think that's the key. And if we will find them and work on them, we will be really successful. You know, if I think about who's really great at making videos that probably, my guess, more people of us share of you think of Sherry Brown. No one can make a video like that girl. I love watching her videos. And what happens? She's really successful, but she's doing something that seems to come really easy for her. I may be speaking for her, but she's definitely talented at it and really good at it, and it attracts people. If I think of our lead up line, Michele Bell, no one, in my opinion, can put together training tools like Michele Bell. And in turn, she has this huge team. I think I read the other day it's over 1,500. But she's really great at creating tools that help her team grow. And then she's getting this amazing business. If I think of our dear Christina McCherry on this, I'm involved. I'm part of a lot of groups in Unique, and no one does a Facebook group like Christina. In fact, when I became green and needed to create my own, I kind of panicked, and I talked to her and I said, no, I want to stay part of this. And so luckily she agreed and let us all kind of stay along, because she does a great job. I can't duplicate what she does. And instead, her team's growing and growing and growing, and we all want to be passionate. We all want to be part of it, and she's created this amazing thing for us. I could go on and on with different people's talents and stuff, but what I want you to focus on and think about is if you interview at convention, if I think back to when I went to convention, people, that Black status presenters did classes for us, and they all taught different ones. That's because they all have different strengths. They all have different things that they focus. So find yours. That's my challenge for you this month. What do you love about this business? Focus on it, and I promise you, if you do and you put the time and effort into it, your business is going to grow. People are going to come to you because they're going to feel that passion. They're going to feel that strength. You're going to radiate with it. So here is to an amazing fall season. I'm so excited for it, and I wish all of you the very best.